Hey guys. All right, so for today's asynchronous class, we're going to do a little bit of a continuation of your exercise from closing the gap last week, actually. During the closing the gap video, if you watched it, I told you guys we're kind of rewinding on the main idea chapter a little bit because I I think it's more important that we focus on really getting these skills down um, versus some other things that, I usually get to in a normal year. We're still going to read Of Mice and Men, of course, but, we're going to also focus more on, these reading skills, picking out main idea, supporting details, all that. So we're still going back a little bit. So this video is going to look a little similar to last Friday, but we're going to take it just one step further. So again, the first thing you always want to ask yourself when you're trying to find the main idea is, what's the point? What's the general point of this passage? Um, we talked about three different strategies. So instead of kind of throwing all the three strategies on you at once, we're kind of really just take it one by one and look at each. So number one, look for general versus specific ideas. Well, you already did that on Friday. So we're doing that again today, but we're just taking it one step further. So I'll tell you what I mean. So just some other examples for you. Again, this is very similar to the exercise you did on Friday. General term here is colors. Specific examples of colors are blue, green, yellow. Movies is a very general term, right? Black Panther, It, A Quiet Place. Those are specific examples of movies, right? And ways to travel. That's very general, right? And what are ways to travel? Walking, flying, biking, skateboarding, riding a train, right? Skipping, hopping, whatever. All right, so now we're going to take it one step further, okay? Now we're going to look at four statements to see which is the general point and which three are the specific supporting statements. So before, you were just kind of looking at a list of four words, basically, right? Now we're going to look at four statements. So it just takes it one step further, but the exercises are still very similar. They just have more words. So when I say point, I mean the general point. When I say support, I mean the specific supporting statements. So if you look at the box, in the following statement, one is the general point and the others are the specific support, right? So if you look at the general point, Iris is a pleasure to be around. So now I expect that the three supporting statements are going to give a reason. They're each going to be a reason why Iris is a pleasure to be around, right? They're going to support that general point. So Iris has a great smile. Iris asks you questions about yourself. And Iris really listens when you talk. Those are three reasons why Iris is a pleasure to be around, right? They support that point. So if I was to ask you what's the point, you would pick the first statement, obviously. Iris is a pleasure to be around. Okay, let's look at another couple examples. Point, general point. The date was a nightmare. Okay, so now I expect three reasons why this date was bad. We had different political beliefs. That's always rough. We were dressed completely differently. That can rub some people the wrong way. Both of us were too nervous to say much. So yeah, that date doesn't sound great. That sounds like a nightmare. So the general point, date was a nightmare, gets supported by those three statements. Let's do one more. General point, 2020 was a terrible year, as we all know. Well, I can give you a million reasons why it was a terrible year, but let's just stick to three. There was a pandemic, right? COVID. Kobe Bryant died tragically. That was already over a year ago, which is crazy. And schools went fully virtual, which we still are. Yeah, 2020 was horrible, and those are 3 reasons why. So they support that general point, right? So that's what your exercises are today. So I'm just I'll do the first one on here with you guys. So I'm going to use 90 as an example, but all your pages look the same. So just go to current unit. We're in today's folder, Monday, February 1st. Point support exercise. Okay. So in the following group, all you're going to do is just pick the general point. Okay. So the other statements are support for the point, but you don't have to do anything with them. All you're going to do is just select which of the 4 is the general point. Okay. So the apartment has no closets. The kitchen is so small, only one person can be in there. Each morning, the entire apartment fills with exhaust fumes from a nearby bus station, and the apartment has some real downsides. So if I'm thinking that the last one sounds very general, right? Downsides means very negatives, right? So bad things about the apartment. So that's pretty general. And these are 3 specific bad things about the apartment, specific downsides, right? The apartment has no closets. That's one downside. The kitchen is so small. That's another downside. Each morning, the apartment fills with exhaust fumes. That's another downside. So the last one is your general point. So that's all. All right, guys, good luck, and email me with any questions. We will review this, obviously, tomorrow during our conference. Good luck. Bye.